Batter up.
Rob and Chris, they're on the air. Yankees, Mets, they're everywhere. From the Bronx to Queens, the diamond gleams. MLB talk, the ultimate team. MLB is the place to be. Rob and Chris with the pitch you'll see. Swinging stacks and stories fly. Baseball talk that's amplified.
And welcome to a new episode of NYMLB Talk with your host, Rob and Chris, as we cover the Mets, Yankees, and all of Major League Baseball. And if you're on YouTube right now, hit that sub button. We would really appreciate that, and the like button as well. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, we're at NYMLB Talk. And if you want to follow Rob, it's at R Maraska, myself at CP7NY. Rob, another dreadful night for both of our teams.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Let's do the other thing we have to do and start off that way, okay? For Mickey. All right, listen. We mentioned it a couple times before. Former Mets manager and great friend to the show, Mickey Callaway, is now managing a Mid-Atlantic League team called the Meridian Blues. And Chris, what do you got up there?
This is basically the countdown to opening day. They open up May 21st. So you were going to mention that they're still looking for players, right? They're still looking for college and pro and semi-pro players, pitchers, hitters. They want everything. I actually looked on their roster. They don't have many guys on their roster right now. So if you're still interested in playing ball, and if you're a college guy, you haven't made it to the pros, this is your shot. You know, maybe you could go there and maybe that'll springboard you to bigger things. But Mickey Callaway reached out to Rob himself and said, we need players. Tell him to contact us. And you got Mickey Callaway's email right down there on the scroll. You'll see it. I'm going to leave it there the whole show. It's at mcallaway2433@gmail.com. Or you could go to their website, meridianblues.com, for more info on the team.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Check out his website. Mickey told me before that he's probably going to come on in a couple of weeks, so you'll be able to talk to him, and we'll talk to him and find out about this. You know, I'm just glad, Chris, that Mickey is back managing somewhere. You know, really, really happy for him.
Yeah, definitely, man. Good for him. And, you know, just for the players, it springboards the players. Hopefully it springboards him back into, into the American League, into the major leagues again, or maybe the minors. Who knows?
Yeah, so it would be great. So check out your site when you have a chance. And like Chris said, if you're talented and if you could strike people out because they're looking for pitching. So, check it out. Anyway, Chris. Jason is on. He could be a bat boy. Yeah, you could be a bat boy if you want.
Why not?
But,
why not? Well, Armand's got a couple of comments about the Mets. So, Rob, why don't we start off with the Mets?
Okay, let's go.
Neither team is doing well, so it's not a good thing.
All right, so what is going on with the Mets? Yes, Armand, this offense is awful, and that's the exact words I used to Chris before we came on. Awful. They have not scored a run since the first inning against Arizona the other day. They're leaving runners in scoring position once again. I thought things were going to be different this season. I really did. I had high hopes, but so far, the first couple of weeks of the season, they cannot score runs. What happens? You put on a Mets uniform like Bo Bichette. What is going on? What happens to these guys? I just don't understand it. We know that, Armand. 0-for-11 with 4 strikeouts tonight. It's crazy, Chris. And not only that, let's go back a game when the Yankees played Oakland. The Yankees and the Mets are making this this A's pitching staff. This is how frazzled I am. This A's pitching staff. They're making them look like Cy Young Award winners, right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I seen it, yesterday. Jeffrey Jeffrey Springs had us no hit going into the 7th inning. So I know exactly what you're talking about, right? It's just right now, both teams are just struggling offensively. They're both pitching decent. I don't want to, tonight we didn't get a great pitching performance, but good enough to win a game. And we're just not scoring runs. And you guys too. I mean, look at some of these numbers for the Mets entering today. I mean, you had Simeon batting 213, Lindor batting 157. He's got no home runs, and he hasn't driven in a run yet, which is unbelievable. Bo Bichette, you mentioned 228, no home runs. Juan Soto, he's on the IL. He was hitting pretty good, 355. Luis Roberts has been hitting great too. We were kind of concerned about him. We didn't know what you guys were going to get with him, but obviously the good Luis Robert is here. But
that's one plus, yeah.
The kid Carson Bench. I mean, you're not expecting a lot from him, right? I mean, he's a rookie, but man, well, what did he do tonight? He was coming in batting 108.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? Let me talk about him. I think he's going to have to get sent down. Okay, I think the experiment with him, he's got to get sent down. They got to figure out what's going on. First Met hit is a home run, and then he has a single after that. I don't even know how many other hits he has. He's going to have to go down. They can't play around. But some news from in Port St. Lucie, in fact. There's 3 guys, all right, that started today for the St. Lucie Mets, okay? AJ Minter finally threw a pitch in the Mets organization again. Tommy Pham played today, and Craig Kimbrell. So all these guys played today in St. Lucie, and, they better be getting ready. You may see Tommy Pham back.
And here's an interesting, all right, who is the aircraft carrier for the Mets? Who is the guy you can always count on to carry that offense? It's still very early. Not sure where the consistency will come from. Obviously,
right.
Juan Soto, right? I mean, he's the guy getting all the money, but he's injured right now. He's going to be out a few weeks. But yeah, I think the big problem, and I'm going to go off of what Jason's saying here too, and you would know this better than me, but you just haven't, it's just right now they haven't gelled as a team, right? There's no like identity for this Mets. Like, where are you like aircraft carrier is a good one, but it's like, who's like leading the way for the Mets, right? I know Lindor is leading off, but who's that guy, right? I get the aircraft carrier. I think that's Soto, but right now someone's got to pick up the slack, right? Someone's got to, you can't just, all right, we got to wait for Soto to come back. No, someone's got to start hitting now.
And it's got to be Lindor, because really what's going on with Lindor? Awful start. I mean, really, really bad start. This team, they haven't gelled. I'm watching these guys, and it's just, I'm saying to myself, here we go again. What's the excuse going to be this year? They can't score runs. They can't get runners in. Runners are left on base all the time. And I had high hopes, but the first 2 weeks of the season, I don't like what I see from the offense. The pitching has been pretty good, a couple of glitches, but can't complain about them. The bullpen was decent. They're not giving up a ton of runs. They're just not scoring runs. They lose tonight 4-zip against the A's, and Oakland. I keep calling them Oakland. The A's scored late in the game to just nail it down, and the Mets just can't score a run. How can you score a run against the A's? I don't understand, Chris.
Yeah, I agree. Armand, you brought up a good point. The Hammett and we did talk about that before the season, right? We said the power was going to take a while to come back from this injury, right? But that's great. But all he has to do, just get on base, right? We get it. Just get on base.
Well, I got a stat. I got a stat for you. I got a stat for you, Chris. Do you know he walked 10 times before Soto got hurt, and since then he hasn't walked once. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's that. All right, so he was getting on base. He was walking. Now, Soto's not in the lineup. So he's just not hitting. The injury, yes, we knew that was going to happen, but something's got to gel with this team. I mean, Mendy, I don't know how. I think Mendy has a short leash this season. What do you think, Chris?
I think he should, no doubt. You got what, the second highest payroll now in baseball. I'm sorry. What else do you need to get a team going? Right? You got one of the best players in the game in Juan Soto. Then you got, this lineup is full of pretty good players. I'm not saying they're all great, but this is a good enough team to be a playoff team. You got a good enough pitching, obviously. Pitching's doing a pretty good job. I mean, this team has to win. This team, if they can't miss the playoffs 2 years in a row with the second highest payroll both years, right?
No,
it just can't
unacceptable.
No,
unacceptable.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and then tonight, Clay Holmes has to leave the game, right? Left hamstring tightness. I mean, we know what that means.
Yeah,
just we know what that means. Tightness in your left hamstring. That means trouble. And Jeff McNeil comes back. Yeah, well, I'll get to that in a second. If Mendy's fired, who on the staff takes over? I don't know. Beltran may be waiting in the wings, right? Now that everything's blown over, he's elected to the Hall of Fame. The Houston stuff is forgotten. He was going to be the Mets manager. Right after Mickey, right? So we'll see what happens. He's got to have a short leash. I mean,
absolutely. He's got to
be. he has to be. It's just this team is just,
his contract.
Yeah, it's driving me crazy already.
Already maxed out. No, you gotta. That's no excuse. No excuse. No. What's why are the Dodgers always winning?
Exactly. Yeah, no.
And they've won 2 in a row. They're going for their 3rd straight World Series. Do you think they'd be like, you know what? We won 2 straight. We're good. We got paid. We're good. We don't have to do anything else. No, they want to win, man. Yeah. If you don't want to win, you shouldn't be playing if you don't want to win. I'm sorry.
Exactly. I think that's a
horrible excuse.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. And Jeff McNeil, comes back with the A's, back to Citi Field, gets a warm welcome, and he said that he has no beef with Lindor. You saw the photo ops of them hugging each other and all that stuff. And here's a funny story. His son was so excited to come back to Citi Field because he loves the apple, and Jeff McNeil had explained to his son that it's not a good thing if that apple comes up anymore.
Right, exactly, because it's not going to come up for your team anymore.
But I just thought that was a pretty funny story.
Here's a name for a replacement. He's kind of in New York at the time. Now, what about Joe Girardi? Would you guys take on Joe Girardi as a manager?
I don't know if they would go that way. They didn't go that way when they could have, right? If you remember. Right. I don't even know if I want Joe Girardi now. I may want Carlos Beltran to see how he does.
In the middle of the year, though, would you take him like let's say if they're still struggling in June, going into July, going into the All-Star break, and they decide, let's get rid of Mendoza. We need a spark. Do you think Beltran's the right guy to bring in then, or do you think it would be better like in the offseason, to get kind of used to it? Because it's his first job, right? It's his first manager's job. I don't know. It could work out. I'm not saying it can't, but what do you think?
Yeah. I agree with you. It is his first managing job, really. No one wants Joe G. I agree with Armand. He's done. I don't know if Mendy has to go, I don't care if they bring Beltran in the middle of the season, to tell you the truth. I think he'll be fine. He's with the club now anyway, so he's an assistant. So I just think that if they get rid of Mendy, I wouldn't mind him coming in. But something has to be done, Chris, soon. They got light of fire under these guys. I mean, these guys are all pros. It's
right.
Probably Bench has to get sent down to the minor leagues, like I said. So we'll have to see what they're gonna do. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about if Mendy gets fired?
Oh, I don't know. Like you said, I think Beltran would be like, who else is on the coaching staff that you would use to replace him, right? Like who's their bench coach right now for the Mets? It's what is it, Gibbons, right? Is it still no?
No, it's not. No. Ooh, hold on a second. I was having a technical difficulty.
That's okay.
That's why
I know. I know that. I'm
that's
just not
why,
sure. That's why.
Yeah, that's why my mic was off for a second. So I'm just fixing something. So as I'm fixing this, what was your question? I missed it. I'm
who's
sorry.
on the Mets coaching staff right now? Like who's their bench coach?
Oh, the bench coach is Kai Correa.
Okay.
So, but I don't want to see him as manager.
Right.
I just say go for it if you're going to get rid of Mendy. But let's see what happens. I'm not ready for that to happen yet. A lot of people like with Aaron Boone, they're already yelling for Mendy to go. So I don't know. I just want them to score runs and start playing baseball. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, I think it's still. I know it's a cliche, but it is early, right? There's still close to 149 games left in the season. So there's still plenty of time to get going. But yeah, you know what? This is New York. This is, the top payroll, the second top payroll. The Yankees got a top payroll. Like these teams got to get going. Like there's no more excuses. I get it. It's cold. The weather's been bad. But you know what? The other teams are playing in the same weather as us, right? So these teams got to get going. I don't want to hear the excuses because, Jazz came out and said that today. Oh, when it's been cold, so when the weather warms up, I'm gonna warm up too. Like, are you kidding me? This guy is really saying that. This is the same guy that said he was going to go 50-50 this year, right?
Yeah,
50 stolen bases and 50 homers. Yeah, you got no shot, pal. Just letting you know.
No kidding.
It ain't happening. So
it's not
it's
happening.
Just frustrating.
Yeah, it's just just watching them play, like you said about the Yankees. Tonight's game was boring for the Mets, and you said the Yankees game was boring. What's going on with both teams? The Yankees got off to a great start. All of a sudden, what's going on in the Bronx now?
Well, their offense has not been good all season. It was their pitching that was so great. Today, Luis Hill made his first start. He wasn't awful today, but you could tell that was his first start and, back in the majors. So he struggled a little bit, but still, they ended up losing 5-3. The first inning, got a couple of runs early, looked like, okay, now the offense is going to get going, but then Mats shut them down the rest of the way. Ben Rice got a pinch hit home run to make it 5-3. What was it, like the 7th inning, 8th inning? And then the 9th inning, they had 2 guys on, 1 out, and they couldn't get a run in. And that's been a big problem for them all season, early on right now. It's only 13 games, but it's this lineup, top to bottom. Other than Rice and Stanton, nobody else has really hit in this lineup, coming into today. You going back, we talked about the Mets with the Yankees. Austin Wells, 167 entering today's game with no home runs, no RBIs, just like Lindor. Jazz, 186 entering, no home runs. Cabby, 135. Ryan McMahon, really awful. 069 he was batting with 2 RBIs. He had 2 hits all season so far. 2. Cody batting 238. Grisham, 162. Judge, only 222, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. For him, that's garbage, right? So these guys got to get going. I'm sorry. Offensively, both New York teams have to figure it out. I don't care about the cold. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah. Oh, yeah. But it does affect Jazz, Chris.
No, of course not. Of course not. Yes,
and
Dan, the whole lineup is in his I agree.
and
And it's
and I just
bad.
yeah. And I just wanted to say, I wanted to thank Dan for coming on Monday's show. Dan, you were a hit. The views after the show, we had a great audience while you were on, but after that, let's put it this way, your show did better than some of the former major leaguers we have
That's
on,
right.
right, Chris?
That's right. That's right. Dan pulled in more views than
We
than
won't mention your names. Don't mention your
yeah,
names.
right. But he did really well. So Dan, you're a natural. You're welcome anytime you want to come on and chat the Yankees. But let's wait till they start playing better for you to come on, because right now we got nothing good to talk about. So I'd rather you come on when the Yankees are playing better and we have better things to talk about with the Yankees. Because right
And
now it's just not
yeah.
good.
Chris, I wanted to ask you a question about the Mets and Benj. What do you think they should do? Do you think they should send them down? And because I'm getting a feeling that maybe they got to send this kid down.
I don't know. I mean, does he look overmatched at the plate?
Yeah, he does.
He does. Then maybe
Yeah, he
you know what?
does.
Maybe spending
He
some time in AAA won't hurt.
he looks like he's trying too hard. Actually, that's how
Yeah,
I see it. He looks like he's just trying too hard. A lot of pressure on him, of course. But
there
you
is.
know
But you
what?
know what? Yeah, I think what hurt too is when Soto went down, like if Soto's in the lineup, that lineup's a totally different lineup,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
When you have a guy like for any team, you put Soto in the lineup, they're a different lineup. He's that type of player, like Judges, right? You put him in any lineup, that lineup gets better. So if you take him out of the lineup, yeah, now the lineup doesn't look that strong. So now you need 1 to 9 to really contribute, right? When Soto's in there, you know what? If the kid is batting 108 the first few weeks, you kind of let it go. You're like, all right, he's definitely, like you said, he's trying too hard. We get it. It happens, but eventually they find their way, right?
Right.
But maybe it's not a good time for him, and maybe he should be sent down, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking that. And while we're talking about the Mets again, I have to say something about first. Let's read what. Yeah, you think he should? I don't know. I don't know though. You don't know how that affects a young player, right, Chris? It could do more
Right.
damage.
Right. That's the other thing. If you send him down, is he going to lose all of his confidence, and then you're going to lose the kid all season, right? So I think
Or
it's really good.
if he stays here and does awful,
Right.
that's another thing. So it's like a catch-22. Go ahead. Sorry,
I think they got to really, this is one of those things where you got to be in the dugout, right? You got to be there to see how he's reacting and all that. You're gonna they have a feel for it, obviously better than we do. So I think they're the best ones to really decide, and I think they will. They'll make the best decision. They're not going to keep him in a situation that's going to affect him negatively, right? If he's struggling, and if they think it's better for him to be sent down, they will send him down, because they got a couple of veterans that they could bring up, whether it's Tommy Pham or MJ Melendez. Both guys are major leaguers, right? They've been up in the majors. They know how it's done. You guys seen how Tommy Pham, he has sparked a team in the past.
Yeah, you're
surprisingly, right? So you never know. Maybe that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, you never know. He could. That's true too. We'll see. We'll just have to see what they decide.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. I hope that they know what they're doing. Now, another thing I want to talk about with the Mets and Met fans. Okay, the Mets announced that they're gonna retire Carlos Beltran's number. Okay, number 15, and now you have these Met fans who are crying about it. Let's start a petition so they don't retire his number, because he struck out, in the 206 in the 06 National League Championship Series. So, he doesn't deserve it. Listen, I was at that game. Everybody knows that. It was horrible. But come on, enough already. You cannot.
One at
It's one
bat.
at bat. You cannot judge him exactly, Armand, on one at bat. And what are you talking about? The guy's in the Hall of Fame and you don't want to retire his number? So stupid. So stupid. And then there's people saying, you know, I wish he didn't go in with a Mets cap on. What are you? Are you that stupid? What is wrong with you? I mean, really?
Why
The
wouldn't
guy,
you want a guy going in with your hat on? Like, I don't understand that. Why wouldn't you want that?
one, it's one at bat. And I was there, and Wainwright, that was a nasty pitch, I got to tell you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was a
You're not
nasty
touching
pitch,
that one.
you know,
Nobody was
and
touching that pitch.
I was upset with that. Of course I was. I had to drive home, after that. And it wasn't too much fun. But all right already. The guy deserves to have his number retired by the New York Mets. And that is it. He's in the Hall of Fame. So stop crying with stupidity that you want a petition. Oh, yeah, that's really going to stop the Mets from retiring Beltran's number. 1,000 people signing a petition. Listen, you're stupid, and that just shows me you don't know anything about baseball. Met
Yes,
fans just like
there is. Listen, I'm not going to say all of them are, because I see it with Yankee fans too. Like, some fans just say the dumbest things, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I've seen some of them say that CC didn't deserve to get his number retired, or not even get into the Hall of Fame, which is ridiculous. But it is what it is. I think you're going to get a small amount of fans that are just stupid. I hate to say it. They're just dumb,
and they don't know anything about baseball. And one other quick thing about the Mets, Peterson's got to figure out what to do. I mean, come on. He's had, he hasn't had a good start yet this season. I don't know what's going on with him, from all-star to now.
For you.
Yeah. I don't know. He's another one. I'm just, like I said, I'm not going to come on here and scream like Frank the Tank. We know that. I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm not happy about what's going on with this team now. Not at all. But and yes, Lovelady is still on the Mets. Why? He's eating up innings. That's why, right?
Until like you said, those guys that are in Port St. Lucie and they're rehabbing, when they're ready to come up. Trust me, I'm pretty sure Lovelady's going to be the guy they release to bring them up.
Yeah, and your Yankees. I have to say one thing. This is the first.
What's your opinion on this? On what?
I agree with that. Try something.
DFA level and bring up Christian Scott.
Yeah, I agree with that. You could try that, but just DFA Lovelady already. Chris, the Yankees, okay? The Yankees, when they lost to the A's 1-0, that was the first time that the A's won a 1-0 game in the Bronx since 1972. You weren't even born yet.
Exactly. And it was the first series they won in the Bronx in 10 years. Their last series win at Yankee Stadium was 2016. The Yankees have owned the A's. They've owned the Twins, the Royals. So they've owned these teams. And the pitching is there for the Yankees. All right, today a little bit of a speed bump, but still, the pitching has been there all so far through the first 12 games, 13 games. It's the offense. The offense is just ridiculous how bad it is. So again, like you guys, the Yankees got to figure it out. They got to get something going. All these guys, I mean, it's not even one guy. It's like the whole lineup. So I can't even say, well, bench that guy. You can't. The problem is we can't bench everybody and we can't send everybody down, right? So and to me, like you're saying with Lindor, he has to be the guy to set the table, to get the team going, right?
Right.
For the Yankees, it's Judge, right? I'm sorry, it's Judge. I know he doesn't lead off, but Judge has to be the guy. He has to be the catalyst in this offense, right? That's who he was every year for the past 10 years. He's been that guy. He's got to be I know the rest of the lineup is going to get going once he once he starts hitting home runs, gets on base and all that, he'll be fine. But I mean, right now their timing. Here's a bigger question. Do you think there's some kind of a hangover or layover from the WBC for some of these guys, right? I mean, I could go down the list just with the Yankees. Judge, obviously. Jazz was there. I mean, anybody on the Yankees, you could say it, had a problem there, right? Jazz, Caballero was there. Judge was there. All of them have struggled. Goldschmidt, I'm not going to count him because he really didn't play. For you guys, who was there for the
biggest? McLean was the biggest one, really.
Right. He's been okay though, right?
He's been all right. Yes, he has been all right.
We can't fault him too much.
Yeah, we spoke about that before. We talked about the hangover with the WBC, and there must be one. I mean, think about it. It just breaks up their routine.
Think about all the players that are struggling, right? Cal Raleigh struggling for Seattle. Roman Anthony for the Red Sox.
Right.
Schwarber, Harper, they're not exactly starting off great either, right? So all these guys, I don't know. Maybe there is something to it. So now here's the other question. Is that going to, maybe make a player decide not to go to the WBC? He's like, listen, I don't want to get into that, especially if it's, let's say in 3 years, a guy's a free agent that year, right? Is he going to take his shot and go? Is he going to be like, no, I got a big contract waiting for me after this season, so I got to have a big year. Why am I going to go into WBC? It's great. Yeah, I could play for my country, but I'd rather have my big contract at the end of the year.
Yeah. It screws up their routine, right? They go from spring training, meaningless games to high pressure, really playoff atmosphere, right? I mean, it's a playoff atmosphere. Listen, in Miami, there's sellout crowds in Miami, and it's basically spring training time. So it could, they could have a hangover. It looks that way. They got to figure this out, because also what's going to happen with the Olympics too. The Olympics, why aren't the Olympics supposed to be just for amateurs? Right?
Exactly.
But I guess the dream team basketball, I think that changed it all, right? But what are they going to do?
I'm going to put up a poll real quick. It's a new feature on StreamYard, so I'm going to put it up so we could see it. Do you believe in the WBC hangover for some players who played in the WBC? So you guys could vote right there if you want. Hit yes or no. You could even go in the comment section as well. I want to hear what you guys want to say about it, because I believe in it. I think, like you said, it messes up their timing. Some of these guys, and listen, some guys can handle it. Some guys could figure it out. Maybe some can't. Maybe a guy like Judge, he's so into his routine. Maybe it just threw him off that much that he's just like kind of catching up right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's a poll. Chris, you're amazing, Chris. Now you figured out that now we could do polls here. That's great. That's great. But we have some other stuff we got to get to. Enough Mets, Yankees, and all that other stuff. It's depressing right now. Let's talk about some funny things. The first one I'm going to bring up is this 81-year-old Dodger fan who the Dodgers are basically shutting out and screwing over because he doesn't have a smartphone and he's used to printed tickets, and they're not accepting printed tickets anymore, Chris. And he's been a season, right? He for 50 years, all right, he's had season tickets. And Armand believes ABS was not part of it because of that.
Maybe. All right. Maybe it has something to do with it. Yeah, I think. You know what? I think players getting used to the ABS challenge, I think that might have something to do with it too. Sure.
It might. I agree. But anyway, what do you think about that, Chris? The guy can't print tickets. Awful. And right?
And you know what? The worst part was, when he went to a game on its own, he went to the ticket window because he didn't have a ticket. They printed up a ticket for him.
No, it's crazy.
So they can print a ticket up for him there, but they can't give the guy season tickets. Are you crazy? The guy's been a season ticket holder what'd you say, 50 years or whatever it
50
was?
years, 50
50
years.
years. They couldn't just print this guy up some tickets, just him. I mean, come on, to make a special inclusion for the guy. I mean, come on. I mean,
It's
how hard is
it's
it to
insane.
make up tickets for one guy?
It's insane. It's insane. And
Oh,
he doesn't have a smartphone, doesn't know how to use a smartphone. He has a
that's
flip phone,
understandable. I
you
get it.
know.
The guy's 80 something years old. He don't need a smartphone. Trust me, you don't
Just
want a smartphone. If you could avoid it, don't get it. Right? I mean,
listen,
oh,
just get the printed send the guy printed tickets already. Come on. What is wrong with you, really, Dodgers?
I know.
Ugh, that drives
Awful,
me crazy.
awful look.
It-
And you know what? A team like the Dodgers, you would think would have been like, yeah, give this guy whatever, guy's been here for 50 something years. You know what? Yeah. He's our oldest season ticket holder, I'm sure. You know what? Give him the ticket, print them up.
Yeah, really, do something. I mean, that's ridiculous. All right, Chris. Another thing. Let's go to the food for a couple of seconds because people love food, baseball, food, and everything. Put up that picture of the Yankees.
Actually, do you want to do before we get to the food? Do you want to
What?
talk about the CD you want to give away?
Oh,
The
that's
Ronny
right.
Hill
Thank
CD.
you. Yeah. Okay. We have a CD. Put up the Ronny Hill thing. All right. We had Neil Berliner on. Great comedian, friend of the show. He discovered Ronny Hill, and the music is great. Chris, how much do you like Ronny Hill?
Love him. Absolutely love him, man. Great bluesy rock music. If that's what you like, check it out. He's all over
Spotify.
Spotify and Apple Music. Check him out there. But he did send a CD to Rob to give away. So we're going to give it away. If you want the CD, why don't we do this? Comment in the comment
Yeah.
section. If you want it, we'll send it to you right there. Just say you
Comment
want it,
and we'll
pick
we'll
one.
pick somebody out.
Yeah.
And then we'll announce it Monday or something. So either comment it or send us something on X or whatever, and we'll send it out to you. It's really good. It's a CD. This kid.
And if you're already here's a good thing. If you're already subscribed to our show, you've entered. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you
Okay.
want a bonus entry, put it in the comment section.
That's
You want the CD. Just put CD in the comment section, and that'll be like a bonus entry for you. But everybody who's subbed, so if you know anybody who would want the CD, have them sub for the show. Hit the subscription for us, and he'll be entered, and we'll pick the name out of the subscriptions that we have.
Yeah, definitely. So check it out. We will pick a winner. We'll announce it next week. Thanks for reminding me, Chris. I got it written down, but a couple pages later. That was a good call. All right. So now we got the food stuff.
Yeah, now we get the fun stuff, right?
Okay. Put up the Yankee thing. All right, that looks great. I got to tell you, I go to a Yankee game just for that. That is the Yankees have already run out of their chicken ice cream bucket. Chris, what do you think about this?
Listen, I'm surprised that they ran out. You would think they would have got more of it made up because look at that. That looks delicious, right? I mean, who wouldn't want that? The problem is it's been so cold at all these games. Maybe they assumed that people wouldn't want to eat ice cream at some of these games because it was so cold. But apparently it's really good. It's really popular. They ran out. But hopefully they get more for the next homestand, which is coming up soon. They're only in Tampa for 3 games, and then they're coming back home next week. So hopefully they could get it in for next week because obviously it's a hot item.
And it's only $10.99. That's a bargain, really, right?
I think anything that cheap at a game is a bargain, I think. So,
and you get the Yankee bucket. It looks like fried chicken. So right there, I got to taste it. And the weather's going to start getting better. So they better come up with some more of these things, but let's see what happens. Is it going to go from $10.99 to $15? We thought, Chris, how much did you think it would be? You had a thought.
Yeah, I was thinking closer to $20. So, Yeah, Joe, not bad price. Absolutely. It's not a bad price for these days, no doubt. I was guessing closer to 20, to be honest. I didn't think
Yeah,
10.99.
that's not bad. That's a bargain. And do you have that other chicken, since we're on the subject of chicken? Look at this guy. This guy is so smart. He came up with a loophole for the rules in Colorado at Coors Field. You could only bring food in a clear bag. Well, this guy, he went to Costco and he brought in a whole Costco chicken. Okay, so it's like he went in and he's got dinner for, him and his family. So he
They beat
saved a
the
lot of
system right
money.
there. There you go. And you know what? And it's something that fans should try to remember is that you could bring in your own food to these games. You don't have to buy, these $20, $30 chicken buckets or whatever else is out there, right? Or the sushi or whatever they got. You don't have to order them. So you can bring in, a little sandwich for yourself and for your family or whatever. As long as it's in, I think, a clear bag, you could bring it in. So just try to remember that before you go, because otherwise the money you're going to spend is just ridiculous for a game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous as it is. The parking at Citi Field now is $50. Okay,
Yeah.
$50 to park a car. It costs more than some of the tickets. It's ridiculous. They are out of control. It's out of control. And I think that's if you prepay. I think if you don't prepay, it's $60.
Wow.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And we have one more. Do you have the picture of the other thing? It's not Dan's 25-cent hot dog.
It's close. It's close.
Look at this one. The Blue Jays sold over 100,000 hot dogs during their 77-cent promotion night the other night to celebrate the team's 1977 debut, right? They sold, in fact, 100,204 hot dogs. That's a lot of hot dogs, Chris.
Prepay is 40, not prepaid is 50. Okay, so
prepay is 40. Pay.
I still think $40 is crazy to park your car when you think about it.
Thanks, Chris. Oh, for the playoffs at the postseason, it's 50 and it's 60, but if you prepay, it's 50. That's what it is. So,
and then it goes up if you make each round too. It goes up.
Yeah, it's
so
like
I remember
the better the Mets do, the more expensive your parking is.
Yeah,
that's why.
So you want the team to make it to the World Series? I don't think you want to go to the game though, right?
You're right. That's just crazy. Oh,
it's almost like you don't want them to do well.
I know. And Chris, I gotta say, congratulations to Chris, because Major League Baseball, they announced that This Week in Baseball is coming back, and Chris posted a comment, right? And MLB used it on their, I guess, what was it, on X? What was it on X that they used?
On Twitter, X, yep. Wait, not yet. Hold on.
Yeah, there it is, right there. And you don't blink, okay? Because
it pops up.
Right there. The bottom right. Right there, the bottom right. Chris, MLB uses a lot of your tweets, don't they?
Yeah.
That's like what, your third or fourth one that they use?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. But listen, and I love that they've brought back, the format kind of with This Week in Baseball.
Yeah.
I think it's so awesome. It's like an 8-minute show. It's not really long, but you know what? It's worth it. It's mainly more for the younger generation, obviously, just like it was when we were growing up, we watched it. It's more for the younger crowd. It's like 8 minutes long. It's just a quick highlight reel. Unfortunately, obviously Mel Allen is not hosting it, but it's still great. It's still cool to check out. If you're on Twitter, check it out for sure. I think they're posting it on YouTube as well. If they don't, it was not a good move for them, but they should be posting it on YouTube as well. But check it out. It's good, to see that they brought it back.
Yeah, it definitely is. Who didn't love that show when we were kids?
Yeah,
you're right.
Exactly.
Now we don't. Luckily, we don't have a photo of this. But Chris, did you hear about the Major League Baseball fan in Tampa when they played the Cubs who went after the foul ball and his pants fell down and they saw his naked butt?
Yeah, I didn't. I did see that, but I didn't want to save that to show everybody. Wasn't
I'm glad.
exactly, something that people want to really see. So
I'm glad that you didn't do that. Oh, and Dan, yeah, Dan is agreeing with you about the WBC. Yeah, definitely. It's got to be something. Now, Chris, I want to bring up something else. You're lucky because the Yankees don't go through this, okay? But all the other teams do. What did you think of the Baltimore Orioles City Connect uniforms?
oof, yeah, they were bad. They were definitely a lot of them were bad this year. Again, it's pretty sad. It's like, what are they? I don't get the designs in it. I know it's supposed to be, City Connect or some. I don't know. Why don't they just go back to like the throwback uniforms? You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's so much better.
Me too. And not only the Baltimore Orioles, but did you see the Kansas City Royals Connect uniforms too?
Yeah,
Ah,
I don't understand it.
but you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to go through that with the Yankees because they're not going to have a Yankee City Connect uniform. Not at
That's the
all. Okay.
Royals.
Yeah, that's hard. Look at that cap. That's horrible. That's because Hallmark is big in Kansas City, so that's why it's the Royals actually too. So
And the Royals
that's
got
what the
some of the
crown is.
nicest uniforms, the colors, the
Right.
logo, right? I mean, look at this. Like, what are you doing? Why
It
do you
looks like a men's softball league uniform, right? That's what it
Yeah.
looks like to me. It looks like something that in Lodi we used to wear when we played men's in the men's softball league. It's really they're terrible job on that. I'm with you. Go with the throwback uniforms. Go with the uniforms from the 70s, right? If you want to go wild, because then if you look at Houston Astros, the Royals, the White Sox, except for the shorts. Okay,
Yeah, that
nothing
was bad.
would be worse.
That was a miss.
Nothing, and we talked about that before when the Chicago White Sox wore shorts. All right, it was crazy. Like, how could you steal a base with shorts on?
I don't know how they got away with that, to be honest.
Another gimmick, another gimmick. But that was definitely that was crazy. Chris, I want to know your opinion now about the Pirates giving Connor Griffin a 9-year extension. He signed till 2034, $140 million, no opt-outs, no deferrals. What do you think about that?
Uh, I think, you know what, for small market teams like the Pirates, I think they have to do that, right? They have to take that risk and try to keep their guy a little bit longer, because they're not going to be able to, get him to free agency and then they're going to be able to sign him, right? Like, they're going to have a problem with Skeens if they can't extend him. And his price now is going to be much higher than what they just gave to Connor Griffin, obviously, because he's proven himself. They're risking with Griffin, right? With all
Right,
their analytics and all their, stuff. They think that this kid's going to be, the next like Bobby Witt Jr., right? That's how good this kid's going to be. So they're taking a risk. They're signing this guy 9 years, right? Like you said, instead of giving him, instead of him waiting until 5-6 years and he becomes a free agent, and they'll have no shot at signing him then, right? Because then the Mets, the Yankees, anybody could sign him.
right,
So I think small market teams have to do stuff like this to try to compete, because if they don't, they can't compete with the big market teams, right? Because they can't get into free agency and sign a bunch of guys like the Mets can, or the Yankees and the Dodgers, the Phillies. They can't do that. So they can only hope that their young prospects develop and turn into the stars that they think they're going to do, right? So they're,
right.
they're risking and they're banking on this kid to be, their guy for the next 9 years. I mean, I hope it does. I hope it does, because if it doesn't, Pittsburgh is, screwed. Let's say it in a nice way, right? They could never compete against a big market team unless their young prospects turn into something. And right now they know they got Skeens. They got that other pitcher who's really good. So they got, kind of a few good,
core.
really good players that they could kind of build around, and hopefully it all works. It worked it worked for what? Kansas City 10 years ago when you guys played them in the World Series, right?
Yes,
That was a
you're
team
right.
that had that young nucleus. They all got good at the same time, but
Right.
then that was it, right? And
Yeah.
that's what Pittsburgh kind of is trying to do. So hopefully it works for them. So I'm all for it.
But he's only 19. 9 years is too much. Dan says, yeah, it's a risk.
It's a risk, because if he hits, and if he projects, and if he becomes that guy that they project him to be, it's a bargain for 9 years what he's getting paid, right? We know, we see these guys getting paid crazy amounts of money. Like, wait till Skubal signs his contract next offseason.
Right.
It's going to be $400 million. It's going to be nuts how much that guy's going to get paid. And then whoever's the next big free agent is going to get crazy money. Look what Soto, you guys just signed Soto, right, to more than $500 million. So
it's crazy. But look, you have to think about what Skeen said. Skeen said that Griffin is going to be the face of the franchise. Isn't Skeens the face of the franchise? So what's that telling you, Chris?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Very good. Very
Right?
good, Rob.
What is that telling you? I'm going to tell you something too. Connor Griffin, okay, 140 million to a 19-year-old kid, to anybody, that's a lot of money. Okay, so he signs this contract because anything could happen. He could get injured this season, and there goes the contract. This is a guaranteed contract, a guaranteed $140 million. But now you're stuck on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Okay, so what is that saying? It's like, do you think that the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to compete and go to the postseason at least once during this contract?
They're hoping more than that, but yeah.
No, him personally, like, all right, he's got security now. He's secure. That's it. Guaranteed contract. He doesn't have to worry about money for the rest of his life. He's set. But are you going to be, and I know, like Reynolds, right? He's happy in Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
He never went for anything. I don't understand it. But if Pittsburgh does not make the postseason again, at least one time in that 9-year contract extension, this kid's going to be stuck on a team that's just, blah.
But think of it this way. In 9 years, he'll be 28 years old. If he projects to be anywhere near what they're saying, he's going to go into free agency at 28 years old, coming off making $140 million.
Good point.
God knows what they're going to be worth in 9 years, right? I have no idea. So I kind of look at it that way. So he's set up, and I think by them giving him the money and offering it to him, just before he even accepted it, he's thinking, you know what? They're serious about winning here. Like, they're going to be serious. If they're offering me this kind of money, yeah, they're making me the centerpiece, but are they going to, and I'm sure they told him, listen, we're going to try to surround you with as much talent as possible. We're going to try to re-sign Skeens before he becomes a free agent, all that stuff. I'm sure they told him everything. How can Joe says, how can anybody, I don't know. I've never been to Pittsburgh, so I can't tell you, but obviously he's happy. The one thing they have going for him,
it's a beautiful ballpark,
right? They
too.
play in probably it's either the nicest stadium or the second nicest, right, next to San Fran, right? That's another great stadium. But I think it just shows you that the team is serious about winning. I think that's what it gives you confidence as a player, and it's going to give the fans like, wow, this team's never done this before. Like, what are we doing? Does this mean that we're getting serious here? So, and maybe that's going to get the fans going to games this year. And so far, it looks like it, the home game that he was at. So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
Sidney
listen.
Crosby, right? Mario Lemieux
You're
was
right.
happy there for years. So, and look at all the Steelers that were there. I listen. I don't know anything about the city. It looks beautiful on TV when you see it, but I think
It
this is
does.
just. I think it just shows confidence in the team or the
Listen,
ownership.
Chris, Pittsburgh was always a great baseball town. Okay,
Yep.
um, always a great eh, baseball town. So they're craving a winner there. And this winter, this off season, they did show that they were willing to sign some players. Right?
Yep.
They did it, and this is at least telling their fan base, like, okay, look what we did. We signed our guy, you know, to a 9-year extension. So you're going to have him here for the next 9 years. And, we're going to build the team around him. And it's showing the fans we're trying. We're trying.
Yeah. Did you see what the
Yeah.
Pirates posted for Griffin name, calling it Connor's Corner Club?
Connor's
Yeah.
Corner
You know
Club.
what? You just signed this guy for 9 years. You know you got him. So why not? Now you got to build that franchise around this guy. Now what they should be doing is trying to get Skeens signed. I don't think you're going to get him signed, but you know what? I would be trying my hardest right now if I'm Pittsburgh. I would be talking to him and his agent and saying, "Listen, let's get a deal signed. I want you to be here, for as long as Connor Griffin is, or even longer. We want you to be the centerpiece of this franchise.
Yeah. And this kid signed the contract with, we know what's looming after this season, right? We don't know if weren't the flat top. Yeah, they weren't the only ones, because other teams did it, but not for as long. I think all the teams did it in 76, I believe, except for the Yankees for a while. But we don't know what's going to happen after this season, Chris. So, these guaranteed contracts, this kid's set.
Yeah.
There might not be a baseball season next year, or a very short one. We don't know.
Exactly. There's so much questions going into whatever next year is going to be. So it's a mystery right now. Like, is there going to be a cap? Is there's going to be this or that? We really have no idea. So the best thing is, if a guy like that is going to get that reassurance, why not take it? At 19 years old, like you said, if the kid gets hurt, if he stinks, he's still getting that money regardless. So why not? Like, from his side, it's smart. From Pittsburgh, it's a risk. It's a huge risk, obviously, especially for a small market team. But if it works out, it's a great move, right?
Yeah.
It's either going to be really great or really horrible. So
Yeah,
there's no in between on this,
That's right. And what's with this Ichiro broken bat statue, Chris?
Yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. I seen that, but he said it was what he said was pretty funny. He said, "Oh, I didn't know Mariano was invited to right, because he breaks all the bats." But yeah, that was a little embarrassing, but it's pretty cool that they have a statue for the guy.
Yeah, it is. That is embarrassing, but it is pretty cool. And I cannot believe the hour is up already, Chris. I had a good time talking baseball with you. We love our guests, and we love when our guests come on, and we have a bunch of guests lined up, so we're gonna have a lot of guests. But it's fun talking baseball with you, just you and me.
Always.
And we're always. And as far as next week, we'll be back next Friday at 10 p.m. But also Monday, I am not going to be here. And you're going to have a fill-in as a co-host, Chris. You're going to have Anthony Savino is going to fill in for me on Monday. So that should be a lot of fun. I'm having my surgery done, so I'm going to miss Monday's show. But I'll be watching it. I just can't be on it. So you're going to have fun with Anthony on Monday, Chris.
Yeah, Savino's, and he's probably not going to be happy if the Mets series continues this way like it did tonight, right? He's not going to be in a good mood. So We shall see. Or me. I may not be in a good mood either. So we're going to need everybody in the comment section to help us out to get us through the show. But no, we'll have a good time. Savino's great. I love talking to him. So we should have a good time.
Yeah, you definitely will have a good time. Joe, gonna miss. What did Joe Dell say?
Gonna miss Rob, but no better fill-in.
Yeah, and he said yes already. I know Joe Dell's happy about that. So Anthony Savino, Monday at 3 p.m. And if that's it, Chris, have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy baseball. I hope we can enjoy baseball. I'll see you next Friday. Chris will see you Monday with Anthony Savino. Take care, everybody.
See you.